Okay, I want to go over how to use a protractor. Some of us might not know. So here's the protractor. Here you're going to notice that you have some numbers in the inside, and on the outside you have to determine, okay, which one am I going to be using when measuring something. So obviously if the angle looks like it's 90 degrees, you're going to be looking at the smaller numbers. If the angle looks like it's going to be greater than 90 degrees, you're going to have to look at the larger numbers. So if I wanted to measure, let's say this angle here, okay, I wanted to know what size that angle was. I'm going to go ahead and take that protractor. Where you see this dot or this opening, some of you might just have like a line or something. I'm going to go ahead and put that right where the vertex of the angle that I'm trying to measure. So hopefully you can see, notice how the point is right there. But now this line here that you see down here, there's a black line on the protractor. You want that to line up with whatever side or ray you are working with for the angle. So for example, if I want to measure this angle here, I have to put this point here, right? But look at this line, the black line. Notice how it's going downward. You have to move it until you are exactly on the side of the angle. Okay, now from there you're gonna go and see, okay, this looks like it's going, let me fix this, whoops. So it looks like it's going towards this way, right? But let me fix the camera. If you notice, you have to look and see, okay, am I looking at the small numbers or am I looking at the bigger ones? Now this line here, this angle here, it's obvious that it's less than 90, which means you can't look here. You can't say that it's 100 and something degrees because it's not big enough. So you have to look at the outer numbers, which are smaller. Now, in cases like this, you might not be able to see exactly where it lands. So you might want to extend. So if we look at this one, you might want to extend that line, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this one further so that you guys can see. And I'm doing dotted lines. You don't have to. So now it'll be way more obvious. I'm going to go back to putting that line directly on it. It'll be way more obvious that this is about, I'm looking at 55 degrees. So the angle is 55 degrees. Now let's say that instead of this one, this side, you wanted to do it the other way. So this way, right? It's still the same way. You would end up looking at it and trying to follow it now from the other way. If you notice, again, it's not big enough to reach, so I'm going to extend it another time. And then see if it measures the same thing. Again, put that point where the vertex is, line up that black line with your actual measurement, and if you see this again, it is exactly 55 degrees. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to practice again. This time I want to find out how much this angle is. I'm going to go ahead and extend my rays automatically so that I don't have to waste time doing that. Okay? So that when I'm doing it, it's a lot easier. Again, if I'm measuring this angle, you have to put this point, the opening on there. Now you can't just do it here because this black line has to line up with your line that you're trying to go off of. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up like this. And if you notice, it's less than 90, so you have to look at these small numbers here. But it's also, so you're going to have to look at the outer ones. So if you look here, we're looking at, what is that, 85, 86, 87 degrees. So it's about 87 degrees. So now if we're back to this construction we had earlier, they're actually asking you to measure, do the measurements. So what I did is I already extended this line so that I didn't have to do it. I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to put that circle meeting exactly on top of my M because that's the angle. I'm trying to figure out what this angle measurement is first. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on there so that it lines up exactly with that black line at the bottom of my protractor. And then I'm going to go ahead and follow that extended line that I drew. Now, my options are either 135 or 45 degrees. This angle is obvious that it's less than 90, which means you cannot be 135. Your answer would be 45 degrees. So for this angle here, we're left with 45 degrees. I need you to do the same thing, extend it if you have to. You can either extend this one or you can extend this one, whatever works for you. I need you to go ahead and find this angle and that angle for me.